They laughed at the old man, pushing a mop. Then the commander shouted, "Sir, will you take over from here?" And suddenly, every elite soldier stood at attention. Master Chief Petty Officer, retired, Robert Bobby Washington had been working as a janitor at Naval Special Warfare Training Center in Coronado for exactly 18 months. At 5 feet 8 inches with graying hair and weathered hands that spoke of decades of hard work, he moved through his custodial duties with the kind of methodical efficiency that made him practically invisible to most personnel. He pushed his mop bucket with steady precision, cleaned facilities with thorough attention to detail, and maintained the kind of quiet presence that characterized dedicated civilian employees. To the SEAL candidates and training staff, he was simply their assigned janitor, reliable, hardworking, and completely unremarkable. The candidates knew him only through brief interactions and casual observations. Bobby, when they needed to address him directly, the janitor, when they talked about him among themselves, or that old guy in the dismissive way that young warriors often refer to civilian support staff. None of them had ever wondered about his background, his previous experience, or what circumstances had led him to custodial work at one of the military's most elite training facilities. He was support staff, nothing more, someone who kept their training areas clean so they could focus on the serious business of becoming America's most elite maritime warriors. Bobby's daily routine was predictable and unobtrusive. He arrived before dawn, systematically cleaned barracks and training facilities, maintained equipment storage areas with meticulous attention to detail, and departed after sunset without engaging in the conversations that typically characterized workplace relationships. His work was thorough and professional, but he was also remarkably quiet, speaking only when necessary for coordination purposes and never participating in the casual interactions that developed between staff and candidates. Welcome to Silent Salute, where we discover that extraordinary capabilities often hide behind the most ordinary professional roles. Before we continue this incredible story, tell us in the comments which country you're watching from today. And if you believe that the most dangerous assumptions are those we make about people who seem to fit perfectly into expected roles, hit that subscribe button to support our channel. We're honored to share these remarkable stories with you. Among the training personnel was Lieutenant Commander James "Shark" Peterson, the senior instructor responsible for advanced tactical training, who'd served multiple deployments with SEAL Team 3 before accepting assignment to the training center. Peterson was respected by candidates and staff for his tactical expertise and demanding training standards, but he shared the common assumption that civilian employees operated outside the warrior culture that defined naval special warfare. "Bobby does solid work," Peterson had commented to his fellow instructor during their second month. "Probably one of the most reliable janitors we've had. Shows up every day, keeps everything spotless, never causes problems. Just goes about his business without getting in anyone's way." Senior Chief Petty Officer Martinez, who'd served as a SEAL team leader before transitioning to training duties, offered perspective on civilian support staff. "Some of these older guys who work support jobs are just looking for steady employment after whatever they did before. As long as they do their jobs and stay out of our way, that's all that matters for training operations." But Martinez's assessment missed something important. Bobby's movements around the training facility weren't random or purely functional. His positioning during training exercises provided optimal observation of tactical procedures. His equipment maintenance demonstrated familiarity with military protocols that exceeded basic civilian employment, and his situational awareness suggested background that went far beyond custodial experience. The situation that would change everything began during the 18th month of Bobby's employment, when SEAL candidates from Class 294 were struggling with advanced small unit tactics that were proving more challenging than anticipated. The training evolution involved complex coordination between multiple teams, precise timing of tactical movements, and decision-making under pressure that tested every aspect of leadership and teamwork. Bobby was performing routine maintenance in the tactical training area, positioned at his standard location where he could complete assigned tasks while remaining unobtrusive during the demanding training exercises. His role was essentially what it had always been: facility maintenance and equipment support that enabled training operations to proceed without interruption. The morning training session had not proceeded smoothly. Class 294 was demonstrating tactical coordination problems that were affecting their ability to execute complex maneuvers required for successful mission completion. Multiple attempts at the same exercise had resulted in confusion, timing errors, and coordination failures that frustrated both candidates and instructors. Lieutenant Commander Peterson was growing increasingly concerned about the candidates' performance, recognizing that their tactical coordination deficiencies could prove fatal in operational environments where precise teamwork and flawless execution were essential for mission success and team survival. Reset the exercise, Peterson announced after the fourth unsuccessful attempt at coordinating a multi-team assault on a simulated enemy position. We're going to break this down into component parts and rebuild the coordination from basic principles. The candidates appeared frustrated with their repeated failures, but their tactical understanding seemed to be limited by training approaches that weren't effectively addressing the coordination challenges they were experiencing. The exercise required integration of multiple tactical elements: movement, communication, timing, and leadership that needed to be seamlessly coordinated under pressure. Bobby continued his maintenance routine, but his attention was clearly focused on the training exercise with professional interest that suggested understanding of tactical procedures that went beyond casual observation. His positioning allowed him to observe all aspects of the exercise while maintaining the invisible presence that characterized his employment at the facility. As Peterson began explaining the tactical principles that candidates needed to understand for successful coordination, Bobby's expression showed increasing focus on the instruction being provided. His knowledge of tactical procedures was becoming apparent to anyone who might have been observing his reactions to the training discussion. The problem you're experiencing, Peterson explained to the candidates, is failure to maintain tactical coordination when multiple elements are moving simultaneously. Each team is focusing on their individual objectives without maintaining awareness of overall tactical coordination requirements. Peterson's explanation was accurate, but seemed to be missing tactical nuances that could address the specific coordination challenges the candidates were experiencing. His instruction was comprehensive, but appeared to lack insights that could bridge the gap between theoretical understanding and practical execution under stress. Bobby's maintenance activities paused momentarily as he listened to Peterson's instruction, his expression suggesting familiarity with tactical coordination principles that exceeded casual knowledge of military procedures. His reaction to the training discussion indicated experience with small unit tactics that went far beyond civilian employee background. The training exercise resumed with Peterson's modified approach, but the candidates continued experiencing coordination difficulties that prevented successful completion of the tactical objectives. Their individual skills were adequate, but their ability to integrate those skills into effective team coordination remained problematic. After the sixth unsuccessful attempt, Peterson's frustration was becoming obvious. The candidates were capable of individual tactical excellence, but their team coordination continued failing at critical moments when precise timing and flawless communication were essential for mission success. "Take a 15-minute break," Peterson announced. "We need to approach this differently, but I'm not immediately seeing what adjustments will address the coordination problems you're experiencing." During the break period, Peterson noticed Bobby's position near the tactical training area and his obvious attention to the training exercise that had been causing so much difficulty. Something about Bobby's focus and apparent understanding of the tactical challenges suggested knowledge that might be relevant to addressing the coordination problems. "Bobby," Peterson called out, approaching the janitor's position with curiosity about his apparent interest in the tactical training that had been proving so challenging for the candidates. "You've been watching this exercise. Do you have any thoughts about what might be causing the coordination problems?" Bobby's response was initially hesitant, reflecting his understanding that civilian employees typically weren't expected to provide input on military training procedures, especially tactical operations that required specialized knowledge and experience. "Lieutenant Commander, I don't want to overstep my position here, but I've been observing the exercise and I think the coordination problems might be related to timing sequences and communication protocols." Peterson was intrigued by Bobby's analytical response and his apparent understanding of tactical principles that seemed inconsistent with civilian janitor background. "What specific timing and communication issues do you see?" Bobby's explanation demonstrated comprehensive understanding of small unit tactics that immediately impressed Peterson and suggested military experience that went far beyond basic civilian knowledge of military procedures. The teams are initiating movement sequences without establishing proper communication checkpoints, which creates timing drift that compounds throughout the exercise. By the final coordination phase, the accumulated timing errors prevent successful integration of individual team actions into coordinated tactical results. Peterson stared at Bobby with growing amazement, recognizing that his analysis of the tactical coordination problems was more sophisticated than most military personnel could provide without extensive special operations experience and training. Bobby, where did you learn small unit tactics at that level of detail? Bobby's carefully maintained civilian persona was beginning to show stress fractures under questioning that threatened to reveal background and qualifications he had spent 18 months keeping hidden beneath routine custodial employment. Previous experience, sir? I've had some exposure to military tactical procedures in past employment. Peterson's curiosity was intensifying as he processed Bobby's tactical knowledge and began wondering what kind of previous experience could provide such comprehensive understanding of advanced special operations coordination principles. What kind of previous experience involved small unit tactics, Bobby? Bobby's response required careful balance between acknowledging military background and maintaining operational security about service record and qualifications that he preferred to keep separate from his current civilian employment. Military service, sir. I served in the Navy for a number of years before transitioning to civilian employment. Peterson was beginning to understand that Bobby's background might be significantly more complex than his current janitor assignment would suggest, but the depth of his tactical knowledge indicated service that went far beyond routine military experience. What was your rating, and what units did you serve with, Bobby? Bobby's answer would fundamentally change how everyone at the training facility viewed his background and qualifications, revealing service record that had been completely hidden beneath 18 months of anonymous custodial work. Special operations, sir. I served with Naval Special Warfare Units for 26 years before retiring and accepting civilian employment. The revelation hit Peterson like a physical blow. The janitor who had been cleaning their facilities for 18 months was actually a retired special operations veteran with extensive experience in exactly the type of tactical operations that candidates were struggling to master. Bobby, what was your final rank, and what specific units did you serve with? Bobby's response provided context that transformed everyone's understanding of his background and qualifications, revealing distinguished military service that had been completely concealed beneath routine civilian employment. Master Chief Petty Officer, sir. I served with SEAL Team 2, SEAL Team 6, and Naval Special Warfare Development Group before accepting retirement and transitioning to civilian employment. Peterson's understanding of Bobby's background suddenly made complete sense, but he was struggling to comprehend why someone with such distinguished special operations experience would accept employment as a janitor at a SEAL training facility. Master Chief, why would you transition from SEAL Team 6 to custodial work? That's usually considered a significant step backward in terms of career progression and professional recognition. Bobby's explanation reflected the complex personal decisions that often characterized veterans transitioning from distinguished military service to civilian employment that utilized different capabilities and provided different forms of satisfaction and purpose. Lieutenant Commander, after 26 years of special operations, sometimes the most valuable contribution you can make is staying connected to the community while finding ways to serve that don't require constant attention and recognition. Sometimes the best way to help is to remain present and available until someone needs your experience and expertise. Peterson absorbed Bobby's explanation with growing understanding of why distinguished veterans might choose civilian employment that allowed them to remain connected to military communities while avoiding responsibilities and pressures associated with continued operational service. The conversation was interrupted when Commander Patricia Hayes, the training center's commanding officer, approached the tactical training area to assess the coordination problems that had been affecting Class 294's performance and determine what adjustments might be needed to ensure successful completion of their training evolution. Lieutenant Commander Peterson, I understand the candidates are experiencing tactical coordination difficulties that are affecting their training progress. What's your assessment of the situation and what modifications might address these challenges? Peterson's response demonstrated appropriate military courtesy while ensuring that Bobby's tactical expertise was properly recognized and utilized to address the training challenges that had been frustrating both candidates and instructors. Commander Hayes, Master Chief Washington has identified specific tactical coordination issues that are causing the problems we've been experiencing. His analysis suggests modifications that could address the timing and communication deficiencies that are preventing successful exercise completion. Hayes looked at Bobby with obvious confusion, trying to reconcile his civilian janitor status with Peterson's reference to his military rank and tactical expertise that seemed inconsistent with custodial employment. "I'm sorry, Lieutenant Commander, but I'm not familiar with any Master Chief Washington assigned to our training staff. Are you referring to civilian employee Bobby Washington, who works custodial services?" Peterson's explanation provided context that revealed Bobby's distinguished military background and suggested that his experience and expertise could contribute to addressing the tactical training challenges that had been affecting candidate performance. "Commander Hayes, Bobby Washington is Master Chief Petty Officer Robert Washington, retired, who served 26 years with Naval Special Warfare Units, including SEAL Team 6. His tactical analysis has identified specific coordination issues that could explain the training difficulties we've been experiencing." Hayes's understanding of Bobby's background created immediate recognition that the facility had been employing someone whose qualifications and experience far exceeded his current custodial assignment and whose expertise could significantly enhance training programs. "Master Chief Washington, I had no idea about your background and qualifications. Would you be willing to provide tactical input that could help address the coordination challenges our candidates are experiencing?" Bobby considered the request carefully, understanding that his cover as anonymous civilian employee was ending, but recognizing that his experience could benefit candidates who were struggling with tactical concepts that he had mastered through decades of operational experience. "Commander Hayes, I believe the coordination problems can be addressed through modifications to timing sequences and communication protocols that reflect lessons learned from operational experience in complex tactical environments." Hayes was clearly intrigued by the possibility that Bobby's operational experience could provide insights that would enhance training effectiveness and improve candidate preparation for operational assignments. "Master Chief, would you be willing to take over the training exercise and demonstrate the tactical coordination principles that could address these challenges?" Bobby's acceptance of Hayes's request would fundamentally change his role at the training facility, transitioning him from anonymous civilian employee to recognized tactical expert whose experience and expertise could enhance SEAL training programs. "Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored to assist with training that prepares the next generation of special operations personnel." Hayes's next action created immediate transformation in how everyone at the training facility viewed Bobby and his role in supporting candidate preparation for operational assignments. "Lieutenant Commander Peterson, please ask Master Chief Washington to take control of this training evolution and demonstrate the tactical coordination principles that will enable successful exercise completion." Peterson's response reflected appropriate military courtesy and recognition of Bobby's superior rank and experience, despite the unusual circumstances that had revealed his background and qualifications. "Master Chief Washington, Commander Hayes requests that you assume control of training exercise and provide instruction in tactical coordination principles. Will you take over from here, sir?" Bobby's transformation from invisible janitor to recognized military leader was immediate and dramatic. His posture straightened, his voice carried command authority, and his presence commanded immediate attention from candidates and instructors who suddenly understood they were in the presence of someone whose experience exceeded their own. "Thank you, Lieutenant Commander. Candidates, form up for tactical coordination instruction." The candidate's response was instantaneous and respectful. Every SEAL candidate immediately snapped to attention, recognizing that they were receiving instruction from someone whose operational experience and military rank demanded maximum respect and attention. "Candidates, the coordination problems you've been experiencing result from fundamental misunderstanding of timing relationships and communication requirements in complex tactical operations. We're going to rebuild this exercise from basic principles that ensure successful coordination under operational stress." Bobby's instruction demonstrated comprehensive mastery of tactical principles that immediately impressed candidates and instructors with insights that reflected decades of operational experience in the most demanding special operations environments. Small unit coordination requires understanding that individual tactical excellence is meaningless without seamless integration into team operations where timing, communication, and mutual support determine mission success or failure. His teaching methodology was systematic and comprehensive, breaking complex tactical coordination into component elements that candidates could understand and practice before attempting integration into complete tactical operations that required flawless execution under pressure. The first principle is establishing communication protocols that maintain continuous coordination between all elements throughout the exercise. Each team leader must understand not only their individual objectives, but also their timing relationships with other teams and overall tactical coordination requirements. Bobby's instruction continued with practical demonstration of tactical coordination principles that candidates could immediately apply to address the coordination challenges they had been experiencing during their previous attempts at the exercise. Movement sequences must be coordinated through established checkpoints that allow real-time adjustment of timing based on actual tactical conditions rather than predetermined schedules that don't account for environmental factors and tactical variables. The candidates quickly understood that Bobby's instruction was providing insights that bridged the gap between theoretical tactical knowledge and practical execution under operational stress conditions that they would encounter in real missions. After 30 minutes of instruction, Bobby directed the candidates to attempt the tactical exercise using the coordination principles and communication protocols he had explained. The difference in their performance was immediately obvious and dramatically successful. The exercise that had failed repeatedly under previous instruction was completed flawlessly, with perfect coordination between multiple teams, precise timing of tactical movements, and seamless communication that enabled successful mission accomplishment under simulated stress conditions. Outstanding execution, Bobby announced after the successful completion. You've demonstrated that tactical excellence combined with proper coordination principles enables mission success even under challenging conditions that test every aspect of teamwork and leadership. Commander Hayes approached Bobby after witnessing the dramatic improvement in candidate performance that had resulted from his tactical instruction and coordination principles. Master Chief Washington, that was exceptional instruction that addressed coordination challenges we've been struggling with for weeks. Your tactical expertise has obviously enhanced candidate preparation in ways that our standard training approaches couldn't achieve. Bobby's response reflected appropriate military courtesy while acknowledging the satisfaction that came from contributing to candidate preparation for operational assignments that would require the tactical coordination skills they had just demonstrated. Commander Hayes, these candidates have excellent individual skills. They just needed instruction and coordination principles that integrate individual capabilities into effective team operations under stress conditions. Hayes understood that Bobby's tactical expertise could contribute to SEAL training programs in ways that had never been available before, providing operational insights that could enhance candidate preparation for real-world missions. Master Chief, would you consider accepting a position as tactical instructor? Your operational experience and teaching capabilities could significantly enhance our training programs and improve candidate preparation for operational assignments. Bobby's consideration of Hayes's offer required balancing his preference for quiet civilian employment with recognition that his experience and expertise could benefit candidates who would face the same tactical challenges he had mastered during his operational career. Commander Hayes, I'd be honored to contribute to training programs that prepare candidates for operational success and mission accomplishment under challenging conditions. 2 weeks later, Master Chief Petty Officer, retired, Robert Washington had transitioned from anonymous janitor to senior tactical instructor, a newly created position that utilized his operational experience and tactical expertise while respecting his preferences for contributing to candidate preparation without returning to active operational duties. His first initiative involved developing advanced tactical coordination training that integrated lessons learned from decades of operational experience with current training requirements that reflected contemporary tactical challenges and mission environments. What we're developing, Commander Hayes explained to the training staff, is tactical instruction that reflects real operational experience rather than theoretical approaches that don't adequately prepare candidates for the coordination challenges they'll encounter in actual missions. Bobby worked with training staff to create realistic tactical scenarios that tested candidates' ability to coordinate complex operations under stress conditions that simulated operational environments where flawless teamwork and precise coordination determine mission success or failure. The operations I participated in, Bobby explained to candidates, required understanding that tactical success depends on seamless coordination between all team elements, where individual excellence must be integrated into team operations that accomplish mission objectives while ensuring team survival and safety. His training scenarios included realistic coordination challenges where candidates had to adapt to changing tactical conditions, maintain effective communication under stress, and demonstrate leadership capabilities that enabled mission success when predetermined plans proved inadequate for actual tactical situations. The tactical coordination training programs that Bobby developed were eventually adopted throughout Naval Special Warfare Command, establishing new standards for tactical coordination instruction that enhanced candidate preparation for operational assignments requiring complex teamwork and coordination capabilities. But perhaps Bobby's greatest contribution was demonstrating that distinguished military service could continue through different forms of contribution that didn't require continued operational assignments, but still provided valuable support for military communities and mission preparation. The story of Master Chief Bobby Washington became legendary at the training facility, shared with new classes as an example of how extraordinary operational experience often hides behind ordinary employment assignments, and how distinguished veterans continue serving in ways that might not be immediately apparent but prove essential when their expertise is needed. The most important lesson you can learn here, instructors would tell new candidates, is that exceptional capability and experience often come in unexpected forms. The person providing support services might be someone whose operational experience exceeds your own training and whose expertise could prove essential for your mission success and survival. Years later, when Bobby transitioned to other assignments, his legacy lived on in the enhanced training programs he had developed and in the understanding that distinguished military service often continues through civilian employment that maintains connection to military communities while providing different forms of contribution and support. His story reminded everyone that in naval special warfare, as in life, the most dangerous assumptions are those we make about people whose current roles don't reflect their background and capabilities, because the most exceptional people are often those who choose to serve quietly until circumstances require their expertise and experience. Master Chief Washington's transition from anonymous janitor to recognized tactical expert demonstrated that military service and leadership capability transcend employment circumstances and official recognition, proving that distinguished veterans often continue serving in ways that remain invisible until the moment when their experience becomes essential for mission success or personnel development. The moment when Commander Hayes had asked Bobby to take over from here, sir, had lasted only seconds. But its impact continued for years, reminding everyone that extraordinary capabilities often hide behind the most ordinary appearances, and that the people we overlook may be the ones whose experience and expertise could prove most valuable when conventional approaches fail and success depends on insights that come only from decades of operational experience and proven leadership under the most challenging conditions. This story was brought to you by Silent Salute. Before we leave you today, here's our question. Have you ever discovered that someone you knew in a routine support capacity actually possessed extraordinary experience or capabilities that they kept hidden? Have you encountered people whose current employment didn't reflect their background and qualifications? Tell us in the comments about the moments when you realized you'd been working alongside someone whose experience exceeded your own understanding. And if you believe that the most exceptional people are often those who don't need to advertise their capabilities, hit that subscribe button to support our channel. Every story reminds us that extraordinary abilities often hide behind ordinary roles, and that the people we notice least may be the ones with the most to teach us. We'll see you in the next story, where we'll discover another incredible tale of hidden expertise and unexpected revelation.